Let's see here. Let's get this set up for live chat. There we go. There's that. Let's see. So you guys know I had a doctor's appointment yesterday and I had a bunch of labs to do and then I had a bunch of stuff. So I know I'm talking to nobody right now, but I will put this up. So I didn't do a live feed yesterday. I didn't shoot a video. What's up, Michael Anthony? So yesterday I had an MRI done. I had x-rays on knees, feet, back, hips, sacroiliac joint, shoulder, and spine, full spine, and a chest x-ray. Because I'm sure that some of you guys know I have an autoimmune disorder. I take medicine that makes me... I didn't shave. This is just, I've been keeping it trimmed. So they wanted to get x-rays, all this stuff, because my autoimmune disorder affects those joints. And so I wound up being at Balboa Naval Medical Center from 7:30 when I went to go get my labs until 12:40 I got back to the house. And then they had me in so many weird positions that my back hurt. Like, okay, we need you to do this. Now hold that, don't move, hold your breath. And I'm like, fuck, guys, I'm broken. I fell down, I basically fell the equivalent of off of a 4-story building, 3-story, when I was in my 20s. And so, but the thing is, I have been having a lot of weird pain in a couple of my joints that's out of character, and they wanted to just make sure. So that's basically what happened. Yep, military doctor's appointment. The lady at radiology was like, I know that they want like specific scans, like specific x-rays, but she looked at me and says, it had been quicker just to give you a full body CT scan. And I was like, what? She goes, oh, it would have been so much quicker. So, yeah, like fucking 4 shots in my hands, 4 shots in my feet, 3 different shots in my hip, 2 different angles of my chest. That's because of the medicine. The medicine I take makes you prone to all kinds of weirdness. So that's how my day was spent. By the time I got home, I hurt everywhere. And then I think a lot of it was just, I hate going to the doctor to stress. I went up with a headache, so I got absolutely nothing done yesterday, guys. But I've been up puttering around this morning, answering some emails and stuff. So here is an announcement. Expect a short delay for the next week or so. I actually had a couple makers reach out to me about sharpening their stuff. I told most of them I couldn't do it. It was unfair to you guys that have stuff here for me to push all that stuff off for the volume they want. So, but I did talk to Elijah Isham. He's got 5 knives he's gonna send me. The other guys wanted to send much more. And I'm like, look, 2 weeks, you want them back in 2 weeks. That's not enough lead time really for that kind of volume. And I told the guy, I was like, and the one guy I told him, I was like, here's the deal too. Like if I accept that, I have to stop working on everyone else's stuff because you have a set time frame. I have to have them to you so you can do all this other stuff. And I was like, you know, that's as cool as it sounds that I would be sharpening for makers. I can't do that to the customers that, like the stuff that's here, the customers that stuff is here. Every one of these people have sent me stuff in the past. So this is repeat business. And I'm like, I can't, in good conscience, treat my regular customers that have shown loyalty to by pushing stuff off and have their stuff sit for 2-3 weeks and not get touched, because that's the kind of volume that we're talking about. It was like 3 makers that talked to me. One guy sent me an email and he's like, look, and I told him, I was like, at this point, I don't think I have enough time. And I actually am pretty loaded right now. I've got a lot of stuff in, and I have stuff that has been sitting for a while because we, like that Richards Counselor 2, I needed to make sure I had the muriatic acid to etch that spot, to cut in the groove. And then once it was done, I sharpened it. I sent that off to Joe. Hopefully did I send it? No, it goes out this week. And so, you know, stuff like that, there's time to lose. And I don't feel comfortable telling you guys, hey, I'm not gonna be able to touch any of your stuff, even though it's already here for like another 2 weeks. That's just not fair. And everybody was really like, hey, I get it. That makes sense. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. And I was like, and that's where I was coming from. But I did tell Elijah, since he just has 5 knives that he wants me to sharpen for blade, that I would take those 5. Especially Elijah Isham posted a thing up on Instagram about my daughter's ice skating. Put a link to it, to her GoFundMe. And so that's, I mean, I can't overlook that. And so you guys know, when Elijah's stuff gets here, just like any other maker that has a time constraint, I'm doing his stuff first. I'm sorry, guys. It's just the only way. And it's because he has done a lot to publicize my business. And he reached out to me and was like, hey, what would the possibility of this be? So, but it's only 5 knives. And so I figured one day at the most. They're a double-edged blade, but only one of them has been ground with an edge. So I think I'm gonna have to grind an edge on them very carefully and then sharpen. So it might be more than a day or 2. But just figured I'd let you guys know. Well, you guys are being awful quiet. Do I have the chat function on? Okay, I do. Or were you guys just waiting for me? Like, he's gonna take a breath. He's gonna take a breath. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. And out of character, this is a script for today's YouTube video. Little quick, I mentioned it in the thing about my oldest knives. Remember I was talking about wasp wasting a I wasp wasted that little dagger that I had because of something, and so I am doing a video about the Gerber Mark II today sometime. Probably soon. I'm starting to get halos, and I'm gonna have to take some migraine medicine. I'm starting to see that weird halo-esque thing going on, and I'm for sure it's because of the weather has definitely shifted. It was 80 degrees yesterday, and it's only supposed to be 62 today, and then it's supposed to rain like hell tomorrow. So we'll see. I'll be doing, I'm planning on still doing sharpening, even if I have to get a different tarp for my thing. What's up, Joshua? And Robert, I did see your thing. Thank you very much. And I did see your text. Ooh, I see all your texts, Robert. I read them. I just don't have time these days. It's just been busy running this, and the live feeds aren't going to be as long. It's already 9:30. I've been puttering around, did a bunch of emails and stuff like that. Talked to my mom, talked to my mother for 30 minutes or so. She's planning on making a trip out here. I'm not feeling bad. I'm just sore from those weird contorted positions they want you in for x-rays. I'm broken, bro. I've got a lot of joint problems. And so it makes it difficult. So let's see, what else is going on? I can't think of anything. So if you guys don't know, Robert gave me a bunch of money and we're gonna do some work. We have not hammered out what we're gonna do. I know he wants me to look at handles on a couple knives and stuff like that. If I tried KPL, it's the only thing I use. So if you guys get a knife for me that has been, what am I looking for? Spot treated, it's coming back with KPL on it, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's snake oil, it's the new snake oil, I don't think it's any better than this. Now, the people that I've heard say that are people that have maybe a few knives. Is there a KPL for my joints? I bet that would be great. But back on that, a lot of people are like, it's no better, you can do this and mineral. I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot of knives and I definitely see a difference. Chris and Elliot see a difference. They use the KPL on their knives now. At first I was skeptical because of the claims that the guy made and then stuff like that, and he sent it to me, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I like it way better. This is in here. KPL is on my workbench. This is my nano oil. I still use this for certain things, but I'll tell you what this is really good for and gets used on a lot, because that's what it was designed for. And this is where I go with the KPL. This nano oil, if you read it, was armament lubrication for the new millennium. And it is from Sinclair, and it has a, I believe, no, I don't. I thought it had a mil spec number on it. But this was designed for weapons. Yes, and Bradley, your stuff is here. And I saw you lined out maintaining the black down in the logo. Elliot and I are pretty sure we can do it. So We'll try. We will try. I will coat that and do that for you. It's not that big a deal. So, this was meant for weapons, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it gets used on my handguns all the time. This stuff's great. It's great. It smooths out and it sits where you want it. But this was meant for weapons. KPL was meant for knives, and it seems to do an incredible job. So, you sent them yesterday. Okay, Zach. So I saw your email. So like I said, anything that comes in, I'm expecting. What's up, Bill? Anything that's coming in that I already know I'm expecting. If I can get it done before Elijah's stuff shows up, then I will. If not, black on the inside of the scales. Well, I mean, I could coat them. Yeah, black on the inside of scales is doable. It's since I'm orange peeling anyway, I haven't really looked at it. It's just plain scales, right? Shouldn't be a problem to have black on the inside and orange peel on the outside. Your lock tension may change a little bit because I am gonna have to do an orange peel on that. I'm gonna have to detension the lock bar, so I'm gonna have to kick it out and make it flat even with the scales so I can get contact, but I have done that a few times. Would you like to have your pocket clip two-tone? So the sides are black and the top is orange peel. If I'm already gonna coat stuff, I may as well coat all of it and then just take off certain areas. So that's something we could just, I'll tell you what, just text me later. Just text me later and we'll talk about it. I've got some ideas what we could do on that. And I mean, you already paid for that two-tone finish anyway, so why not? It just takes a little bit longer. And then, so I had a guy stop by the other day, dropped off a bunch of knives. I showed you some of them on Instagram, but he brought this and he's like, I don't know if there's anything you could do with it like this. So if you guys look at this, did I do my Dow? Chris has, I haven't done anything for them for a little while. Have they already done it and it's just waiting for me to sharpen? I don't know. I haven't been up there since Thursday last week. I didn't go up during the weekend. I forgot that it was Mother's Day weekend, and so I didn't go Saturday. Had every intention of going Saturday, but I did not. But anyway, this guy brings me this, and he showed it to me, and I was like, "Did you know what that is?" He's like, "What?" And I was like, "That is the same. That's a knockoff of the knife that the Joker used in the Dark Knight, Batman Returns, whatever it was. The last of the three where he killed." Or the second one, the second Batman movie. But anyway, it's the same knife that he used, except instead of it being a out the front switchblade, it is it's a flipper, and he said it's a gas station knife, but you can see it's 100% lockup. You got to fight with it to get it closed, but it is kind of cool. So it is a Havoc skull knife. I do believe it's going to end up being a giveaway. Speaking of giveaway, guys, do you know that we're like three subscribers shy of 3,900? So we're like 103 subscribers shy of the 4,000 subscriber mark. I'm gonna have to do something creative for that giveaway. That's a big one. That's 4,000. So, but
We might have to spray out the garage before.
bug spray, you mean?
No, just wash it.
Yeah.
Flies go away.
It's not. That's not what it is. The flies are getting in there because there's no wind and they can kind of hang out in there. We have flies in our garage. It's horrible. You just did it's on the Instagram page. It's just cool. I don't think I sharpened a red and blue one. Did you request me to sharpen it? Because that's the thing. If you request me to sharpen it, that's when I do it. I've offered to sharpen everything that they refinish. Because it's not that much stuff. But yeah, then I didn't do it. I only do the ones that I do everything they make in-house. So like I did every one of the Kong knives. Before that I did every Maker's Choice and then a portion of the regular run. So from now on, the deal is I do every in-house run of knives. So they have one that they're getting ready to do. They have one they're currently working on, which is that was a club knife thing. So if it's one of their knives, it's a production knife. If you want me to sharpen it, then you have to request that if you're ordering from them. And if you're sending something for refinishing, if you want me to sharpen it, you have to request it. And I am going to keep carrying this for a little while. This is actually my daughter's knife, but she can't carry it, so I do. It fits nice, left-handed, down in a little down in a pocket of your jeans, and then it's a nice little left-hand carry. Fixed blade. This was, and I'm really worried. And if you're, we're not gonna get into it. I already know the answer. I forgot. Never mind. And if Charles Anderson is watching, sir, I apologize. Your little tags, there are 2 of these that did not get in your box of stuff that I sent off to Sweden. They fell out here on the counter when I was trying to figure out a way to get that Hornet to stop sliding around in the package while it was on its way overseas. So, trying to think. Anything else? I mean, I've got this tags. They're like little tags that go on your thing. It's no veteran left behind. They're continue mission tags that go on your keychain. And so next time I send anything to Sweden, those 2 will be in it. Because I found one, and then I found another one. Had dropped underneath the counter. And I know that I know I put them in there, so there's 2. I had a total of 4. So there's 2 of them still here at the house. So I'll set it there so I remember next time. What's everybody else got going on? This is a very functional little knife. It needs something. I think I might have to in-laws. So my sister, my lovely baby sister, has got her in-laws in town. And she has been regaling me with how much she loves having them there. She was actually hiding in the bathroom yesterday, so she didn't have to interact. So, what's up, Chris? How crescent rolls in the oven, contemplating breaking out my blue pipe. I have not partaken in any of the recreational horticulture in 2 days. Mainly because I run out of time, and then when I realize it, I got, well, what happens is I wake up the next morning and I don't want to fucking do anything. I just want to lay in bed. Picked up a Crux the other day for 85 like new, trying to break it in at work. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, but one of the best ways to break in a knife is to crank down your pivot just a little bit tighter and crank some tension on that lock bar, just work the fuck out of it, and it cleans up all that shit. And then when you loosen it back to where it would be and you don't have any blade play, and then it's really loose. I did that with my Buck, and my Buck is in the bedroom, but it wound up, it is the smoothest knife in my case, almost Grimsmo smooth, almost that kind of drop shut smooth on that. And people are like, oh, your pivot must be no, it's not. Yeah, I know. I know. I just broke that thing in really good, and I did a really good finish when I refinished it. There was nothing that got screwed up or anything on that. So I'm not saying like crank the pivot down to nothing moves, just crank it down just ever so much more than it was, just a tiny bit more. And they have a lot of Loctite on them, so I would recommend heating it up with a lighter so that you break that Loctite, and then you should re-Loctite it once you get it the way you want it. But, you know, don't use too much Loctite, and then you'll never get the fucking thing open. I did that on my CTF. they have ideas of what they want to do as their production models, and they are keeping it fairly close to the chest. I do know some of the models they've talked about doing in their Pro Series, but you know, I'm not gonna tell you. I can't. Not allowed to. Let's see. Anything else that's going on? Oh, Jim Skelton. I talked with Jim the other day, and I know a lot of you guys need to go ahead and voice your opinions on that. And I like Jim. He's a polarizing guy. A lot of people don't like him. I like Jim. Elliot likes Jim. Elliot and Jim are really good friends. And anybody that Elliot gets along with, there's a very good chance I'm going to get along with him as well. So I talked to Jim, and we were talking about a bunch of stuff, and he said, we were talking about something about me going to Blade. And he goes, how are you getting to Blade? And this, now you're driving, you're flying. And I was like, bro, I'm not going now. We had it all set up with somebody, and we were going to have lodging, and they were going to provide the tickets, and all I had to do was get there. That was also associated with my daughter's ice skating sponsorship, basically silent sponsorship. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to call anybody out, but it just didn't happen. And so now I can't go to Blade. And so I was talking to him. I was like, but you know what? I was like, you know, have fun. And he's like, oh, that's a bummer. He's like, I was really looking forward to you being there, and we could hang out, you know, in the pit and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, it would have been great, but it's just not going to happen. And so I was telling him, I was like, you know what would be cool? I don't know how you feel about this. I was like, I didn't get to even really handle the Deadpool knife that Elliot made for you. I was like, if you're cool with it, if you want to send it, I'll put it on my YouTube channel. I was like, I just can't promise when it's going to wind up on the channel, because I have 2 knives from Matthew that I've got to do videos about. I have a couple other things I want, and then Jim sent that to me. I currently have Jim's Master Blaster Deadpool knife, and it's pristine. He has done nothing but maybe cut open a couple packages because there was a little bit of adhesive at the tip. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, he sent it, and he's like, no rush, bro. Get it back to me when you got. I got plenty of knives. And I was like, yeah, I know. But Jim sent me the Deadpool Master Blaster that Elliot made for him. So we're gonna look at that. I love that knife. It's just second only to the one Elliot made for me. So yeah, I know. I was talking to him about that. This morning. I told him, you know, if I could fucking afford to go, I would be more than willing to hold down his table for him, hold down the fort, because he does. You guys may not have seen it, but anybody that's asking about sharpening and stuff like that, he recommends me a lot of times. And so you can use a soldering iron, Robert, but a lot of times if it's metal handles, I would recommend a lighter or heat gun if it's the FRN. So if it's FRN, you may melt the thing. Yuka, it's 5 minutes to 10. She has to go to work. You can use a hairdryer, but like I said, on an FRN, you start getting into some areas where you might overheat and melt the plastic around it and stuff like that. G10, you should be able to get away with a soldering iron, not have to worry about melting too much stuff. So I am talking to 22 people right now.
Not go walk.
You have to go to work. I'm at work. 10 seconds away from getting an enema. 10 seconds away from getting an enema. What are you talking about? She knows who she has to work with. 0-0, about 10 seconds away from getting an enema. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't get it. I don't. Bye, babe. Love you. She knows who she has to work with today. She's not looking forward to going. Poor Yuka. So, but she understands this is part of the business. So, I have no idea what you're talking about. gotta stick up my bunghole. You know what? Here's the deal. I don't have to. I don't have to do that. Here's the thing. I had, you know what? I had, yeah. Because here's the thing. I guarantee you're having fun. But the fact is, it makes it uncomfortable for the other people here. That's my big thing about, like, that's why I did, remember guys, I did the live feed about the Antifa and stuff like that. I had a guy go on and start complaining about something I said, and then went on and was trolling the business, so I blocked him. And he was like, your ignorance is showing. And I was like, well, here's the thing. It's my opinion. And then he called me. He's like, oh, blocking comments. Why are you going to be a pussy like that? And I was like, the only reason I thought about blocking the comments on that was I know I get sidetracked and distracted by comments. As such said troll just pointed out. I get distracted, and I wasn't going to be distracted. The only reason I thought about blocking the comments, shutting down comments, was so that I didn't get derailed and sidetracked, and I was able to get my point out. I've never done it. But that was the only one that I thought about doing, was because I knew that there was going to be comments and it would distract me, and I wanted to get my point across. So, you know, that's what the live feed is. That's me talking to you guys. And so I don't know who 00 is. It's no offense, but I'm not doing that. I'm not blocking you and put you in timeout because I don't want you on the channel. I'm doing that because it's unfair to the other 22 people. When you're putting up things that are, you should just light them up in the veteran humor way and be done with it. Yeah, but then this thing is, then that's polarizing, and then, you know, I'm polarizing enough. There's a lot of people that do not like my channel. There really are. If you guys could see how much I have to moderate my comment section, and not so much that I care if there's bad stuff directed at me, but the thing is, YouTube does. If you don't moderate your comment section, you get a community strike. You get 2 community strikes, they shut you down for like 2 months. I don't want to have to come back after 2 months. It's hard because people they kind of forget about you if you stay constant and consistent. So I have to think about what's fair to him. I'm not going to block him forever. I just put him in timeout. What's fair to everybody else here is not having him making. There was somebody else that went in there and did something. Drunken yet? I have a lot of people that come on here when they're drunk and watch my YouTube. I have a lot of people that follow me overseas. So right now, there's a lot of places. This is prime drinking time. Like Japan right now, it's 1:54 in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. Well, yeah. No. Is it? It's nighttime there. It's 1:55 in the morning there, which is still in Japan. If you've ever been to Japan, that's still fucking prime drinking time. Oh, a drunken. Oh, I thought you meant a derp. Ha 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 ha. Ah, I got you. Okay. But yeah, like I said, the guys in Europe, it's fucking 7 o'clock at night. It's prime drinking time. That's what I thought you meant. I'm sorry. My bad. No, I have not handled a drunken yet. I've been drunken. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get off of here. It's been, like I said, I'm going to keep these shorter. It's already been like 30 minutes. So, I mean, and I started late. It's already 10 o'clock. Usually I like to start these about 8:30. My wife didn't have to be to work as early this morning. She was watching Netflix on her phone. I wasn't going to tell her that she had to get out of here. I want to do a live feed because I like doing the live feeds here. So that would be unfair to her. So my mother is going to be out probably around, I just gave her dates of the competition. My daughter has not qualified for sectionals yet, but we want to base her trip around her being here for sectionals, which is in Washington State this year. And so I don't want her to like not know when the dates are and then wind up showing up and then she gets here and there's no one here. So I don't want that to happen. So I got the dates for that competition out to her. Rent a wheelchair should not be that hard. How much could you get for your NTAC? I don't know. Here's the thing. The NTAC was one of those designs that didn't get popularity until after it had been out for a while. A lot of people made fun of it. It was too short. It was this and that. And then people really got into that 3-inch blade range that, oh, I want everything to be like 3 inches. A 3-inch blade. Because it's so much more comfortable. It's just, and then they got really popular. So, yeah, I know. It shouldn't be that hard to find a wheelchair somewhere. So, fuck, it shouldn't be that hard to just sneak up somewhere and fucking steal one outside of a hospital. They just leave them shit sit right out in front. You just fucking fold that bitch up, throw it in a fucking trunk, and drive off. Did you just steal a wheelchair? Goddamn right I did. I'm gonna take it back. No, I mean, like an actual. I know, sis. I'm not gonna make Barstool on Wheels though. That sounds like fun, don't it? So anyway, yeah, it's been 30 minutes. I've got to get started. I'm gonna sharpen Bradley's stuff. See the start of the gun. Yeah, and that's why if you guys notice, I like to try and fly under the radar. There's never a picture. I don't mention if I say knife, it's not gonna be knife written out. I've actually gotten to monetize things on Facebook and Google for knives where they usually don't let you. And I explained to him, I was like, I don't make weapons. I make fucking tools and things like that. So I actually was able to monetize a couple of Instagram posts. I mean, to get them kicked out to other places. So a lot of it has to do with how high profile what you're doing is and whether you can slide under. Here's the rules. Can you keep your content under enough? But if you guys remember, I had a few gun videos, and right now there's only 2 of them that are still up because YouTube took the other ones down. I mean, I can't argue with them. It's their business. So they, it's no different than me moderating my comments. If it's bad for the business, then it's not going to stay up. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Love you. Like I said, always, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. YouTube video, YouTube thinks you like. Video I think you like. Subscription link, Patreon link, and as always, there is a link to my daughter's GoFundMe in the description. Like I said, with that sponsorship thing kind of going away, I need as many people to share it as possible. I know I say this in every video, but it is a thing. So I don't consider it e-begging. I think it's a good way for people to feel good about supporting something amazing. And I have to do an application for my daughter for a grant. It's not much of a grant. It's only I think $500 to $1,000, but still it's a grant that they do every year. So I've got to fill that out and get all of her school history and all that stuff, which I'm not worried about that. She gets straight A's in everything. She literally does. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. Chris, your Spyderco will get done this weekend. That's my plan. It will get done probably Friday night into Saturday, and then I'll just get sharpened and put back together. All your other stuff is done. It's just sitting there. And then David, if you're watching your stuff, I don't like the way that the more aggressive rust remover was reacting with your stuff. I neutralized it real quick. I don't think I like the way it's gonna